And people would say, brilliant, what did he say? But Jesus was never fooled by that. And he knew they were trying to trap him. And he said, why are you trying to trap me? Bring me a penny or a denarius. They brought him a coin. He said, all right, whose image is on it? And they said, Caesar's. All right, then you give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give to God what belongs to God. Wow. Well, what belongs to God? Well, whose image is on you? Aha. You belong to God. Give yourselves to God. Let Caesar have his stuff. It's going to burn anyway, you know. But there's another place. Well, here you see Jesus met this confrontation, or met this manipulation with confrontation. He came head on against it. And once again, he did not need to have these men tell him, we know you're a brave man. He didn't, that you're true, that you only speak the truth. He didn't need to have them tell him that. He knew it already. He didn't need for them to say, you only speak true. You're not afraid. You show respect to no one. He knew that already. Now, if we need to have someone tell us that, it becomes an area where we can get into bondage, you see. That's why we need to have these flags developed with trip hammers on them. Boing, 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 when manipulative things come across them. And we'll look at some other of those trip hammers in the course of the evening. But it was another place where an attempt was made to manipulate Jesus, and it comes in an interesting spot. Several thousand people have been listening to him for a couple of days. The apostles come up. I love these guys. I've already talked to you a little bit about them. They were a little slow. It took them 2 days to realize that people were hungry. And then one of the funniest things happens in Scripture. Jesus says to them, this is hilarious. When you read the Bible right, it's filled with funny things. Jesus says, you feed them. You can hear him saying, I didn't hear that. He didn't say that, did he? And then one of them gets financial on him and says, well, Master, 9 months' wages couldn't feed these people. Now, I can hear in his mind these thoughts. Indeed, if we had a salary. See, I don't know what the apostolic salary was back then, but probably wasn't a lot. But into the scene comes a little lad. Jesus says, well, what do you have? Well, we got 5 loaves and 2 fishes. It's attached to a little boy over here. Have you ever thought about this, folks? This is another funny one. What was this chap doing there? He obviously was new. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had a lunch, see? So he must have just arrived. How do you suppose he got there? I play with this in my mind and have fun with it. I can see him saying to his mother, Mama, there's a big crowd of people just over the hill. Can I go see what's going on? She says, okay, but take your lunch. Folks, as she packed that lunch, she had no idea what she was packing. You realize that? Now, I've discovered that miracles happen on ordinary days. Miracles do not come as the result of some high-pressured emotional moment where we're finally getting ourselves to the point where we can have a miracle. No. Miracles happen on ordinary days, folks. Maybe you got up late and you're late for work and you're trying to get peanut butter on your sandwich and you've buttered your hand. Oh, man, I forgot that. And you think, it's a bad start. Everything's going to be bad today. No, folks. Miracles happen on ordinary days. This lady didn't know what she was packing that day. It says 5 loaves. Now, we would have called those buns. Little buns, that's what we'd have called them. Those buns had no idea, as they were being packed, what they were about to do. You ever thought of that? And this little lad heads off over the hill. He didn't know what he was carrying. He thought it was just 5 loaves and 2 fishes. It wasn't. Now, you go with him, get in his shoes. You're over the hill. That has other meanings too, doesn't it? You're there where the crowd is. When you're 32 like me, you begin to think that you are. But here he is among these people, and he's looking around, and suddenly he realizes there are 5,000 hungry people there. And I've got a lunch. When I get to heaven, I hope they have an instant replay machine. I want to see this scene. I want to see how they got the lunch away from him. You ever thought of that? It does say that they brought the boy and the lunch too. And Jesus took those buns and those fish, and he blessed them. I like that. He blessed them. You realize we can't define the word bless without using the word bless to define it. We just know we want one, don't we? We want a blessing. And sometimes when we come to church, now I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about other people that I've seen. Sometimes when I come to church, oh, it's been a tough week, man. Satan's tanned my hide. I really need a blessing. And so I come and I say, oh man, I'm going to have to sit in the back. I got here late. Oh, brother, well, I need a blessing. I really need a blessing. And we find a seat. Where's the seat? Oh, I don't want to sit with those people. I don't like those people. So we find a seat next to some people we like. And then we sit down and I say, all right, now bless me. You got 30 minutes to bless me. If you don't bless me in 30 minutes, well, there's another church just down the street. You know that. That happens in some places. Not here. But at any rate, we tend to know we need a blessing. We want a blessing. Jesus took these buns and he blessed them. Oh. Now, if I were one of those buns, I'd go on the road. I'd be on the 100, 200, 300, and 400 club. I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at blessed buns. So I'm just going to loaf here for a while. This is bad, isn't it? I'm sorry. But that is not what happened next. I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this, but he took these buns and he blessed them, and then what did he do? He broke them. He broke them. Oh, that's what happens when he blesses. Yes, it is. I hate to tell you this, but that's what happens. He broke them, and he broke them, and he broke them, and he broke them. This will take a while. There were 5,000 people there, and he broke them, and he broke them. Now, I guess I'm telling you all of this just to let you know that he really does want to bless you, but when he does, the next thing is he breaks you. But it isn't so he can say, did I break them? No, that's never his reason. It's only so he can give you away, so he can pass you out. You see, that fits his nature, his other-centeredness, his generosity. He gives you away, and he gives you away, and he gives you away. And when it's all over, there's more of you left over than when you began. You can't believe what happened. You don't look the same, but oh, what you've done. Amazing. Well, I can't leave this little chap alone that supplied it all. I can see him standing there going, wow. Looking at his empty sack and looking at that. And I have an idea. This is just my fun playing with the scene. They probably said to the little fella, hey, thanks, kid. We really appreciate your help. Tell you what, let us do you a favor. We got some basketfuls left over here. Why don't you take a couple of these home, okay? Okay. Now, can you see him going home with that and trying to explain that to his mother? Where have you been, boy? Mama, you are not going to believe this. Now, though, we come to what I really was starting to tell you about Jesus. Now he had fed these people, and you would think that after 2 days of intense teaching from the master teacher, this that they had received in their head would now drop to their hearts. But no, their hearts were Teflon covered, and it slipped and went to their bellies. And Jesus knew, see, here was the boing. Jesus knew that they were going to try to come and take him by force and make him king. How did he deal with that manipulation? He got out of there as fast as he could. He even walked on water to get out of there. There are some forms of manipulation that are so overwhelming, so strong, you don't have the tools to deal with it. The best thing you can do is get out of there as fast as you can, even if you have to walk on water.